Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the Aries soulmate, and yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Well, anyway, people, first thing is I want to get with you on is that there's more, obviously more than one soulmate that I think can fit Aries, and I'm going to start with Libra first. Well, Libra, of course, falls on the 7th house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Aries, and Libra could be a very good match as far as a significant other for Aries because they complement each other. As far as their characteristics, you look at Aries could be very aggressive and assertive and outspoken. Libra is a little bit more about peace, and they're really not as much to go out and make waves as much as Aries does. Libra can bring a little bit more peace and tranquility to Aries, and they could show that Aries can be a little bit egocentric. I think a lot of times Aries feels, I think, that their opinions are right, or their beliefs are right on something, not others. Well, Libra can be a little bit more open-minded, and Libra can bounce ideas off Aries, and they could really do that. Help really Aries, I think, to be a little bit more open-minded regarding things. And Aries could be rather combative, while Libra is not as much. And Libra is also more about tact and diplomacy, and they could help Aries with that. And Aries can help Libra be a little bit more assertive and aggressive regarding things. So anyway, well, the next one is Leo. Leo, of course, is trine by sign to Aries. It's a fire sign. They both have fiery temperaments. Leos really are both, Leo and Aries are both attention-seeking, both have high vitality, and Leo's energy may be nearly inexorable and indefatigable, while Aries has a very strong vitality. Aries and Leo, of course, both being masculine signs, both extroverted. The thing is, they both understand each other very well due to the attention-seeking nature. I think the difference is that Leo can almost automatically get it because they're just so charismatic and magnetic, and Aries just wants to get it, and Leo will understand this and be able to give that to them. And so this is part of the reason why they are both very compatible. Now, Sagittarius is another one. Of course, it's a fire sign, and it is trine Aries by sign. Now, you have Sagittarius as that incorrigible optimist. You have Aries, who is not readily discouraged. These two signs, of course, are very positive, being both fire signs. They both have very strong leadership capabilities, and Sagittarius is no stranger to being forthright and blunt, and Aries, of course, could be very outspoken. So obviously there wouldn't really, this is an open, honest type relationship these people can potentially have. So this is not one where one's going to be generally going around the other person's back and being surreptitious or sneaky. This is where, there's a problem. Both these people are very readily able to talk about it, and speak their minds. So anyway, now another sign that could be very compatible for Aries, that could be a potential soulmate, is Gemini. The interesting thing is, you look at these two sides, they are very similar. You have Gemini could be very restless and almost have an aversion to sitting still, while you have Aries could be very active, and they seem to be on the go constantly. Both these sides really don't understand being stagnant very well. They understand each other that way. The only thing where I would see that the main problem between Gemini and Aries is the fact that Gemini could be very loquacious and very talkative. They could ramble for a while and take a long to get to a point, while Aries will just come out and put it succinctly, and because Aries could get a little bit impatient with Gemini's rambling. But other than that, I see this as a good combination. Aries could be very pioneering, and Gemini could help or articulate perhaps new ideas that Aries might have and put them down on paper. So Anyway, well, another sign, I think could be a potential soulmate for Aries would be Aquarius. Aquarius could be very ingenious and innovative. And then you have Aries could be very pioneering and very readily able to start new projects and new ideas. Aquarius is more about finishing things, being a fixed sign. Aries is more about starting them. Aquarius could help Aries finish things. Aries could help Aquarius actually initiate things and get them started a little bit quicker, I think. So in that respect, they are, these two signs can be very compatible. So anyway, the only thing that I think the two would have a problem with is the fact that Aries being very outspoken and Aquarius could be very considerate, and that could be including what they say to others. So that would be the main issue I think these signs would have. But other than that, I think they could be very compatible, and it could be a potential soulmate for Aries as far as Aquarius goes. Now, some other things to look at as far as a potential soulmate. If let's say somebody has their North Node conjunct the someone else's Aries Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, I think this could be very good as well, because the North Node, of course, is about the future and the destiny. And I think when you have the North Node conjunct the other person's Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, this could be something where there could be fuel to that person's destiny, and they really can, and these two people can be tied in with each other's future. Now, the thing about it is, and keep in mind, the North Node is about what we want to the attributes that we're developing, and and if the person's Sun, Moon, or Ascendant conjuncts it, then that person could be very beneficial in terms of helping with the development of them. Sun could give some fuel to it, as an example. Someone's Sun doing that for the North Node person. Now, the South Node person, let's say that someone's South Node makes a conjunction to someone's Aries Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. Well, there might be an instantaneous type chemistry or connection, because many believe this could be a past life connection. But the thing about it is, though, I don't think this is as good, at least in my opinion, as far as a potential soulmate, as opposed to the North Node conjunct the Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, because the South Node is what we're actually trying to steer away from to some degree, maybe incorporate it a little bit with our North Node energy, but nonetheless try to get away from it to some degree and emphasize and accentuate the North Node more. And also what happens is, if you have someone's South Node hitting one Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, it could also be energy depletion, energy dissipation. The South Node person may wind up actually depleting the energy of the person. If it's the Sun or the Ascendant, might literally drain that vitality and stamina to some degree of that person. Even in a sign Aries with of course very high stamina and vitality, if it's conjunct the Moon, well, that could be an emotionally draining experience for the Moon person. And what I've noticed too, even in my dealings with others in terms of astrological synastry, I've noticed, like with me, with my South Node, I've noticed with other people where it's conjunct that person's Sun, in some instances, I feel like that person, and another person, my South Node also conjuncts another friend's Ascendant, I feel like my energy has been somewhat drained. So I think sometimes it could work the other way as well, but I think mainly it's the South Node person draining the Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person more than the other way around. Now, anyway, another potential soulmate aspect could be one person's Venus making a conjunction to the other person's Sun, Moon, or Ascendant in Aries. And the thing about it is, now let's say if the Venus is conjunct the person's other person's Ascendant, well, this person might feel strong love toward the person's outer demeanor and the attributes that they're projecting outwardly. If it's the Sun, they might really love that inside of that person's true inner character And then, this, of course, if you have that synastry aspect with the moon, then there's more of that emotional connection and harmony. So you would have, with Venus, you would have the persons, what they really enjoy doing would be very much in sync with that with the person's emotional needs, as far as the Venus conjuncting the moon. Now, last but not least, another I think a potential soulmate aspect could be one's Juno making a conjunction to the other person's sun, moon, or ascendant in Aries. So because Juno represents what we really like require or need as far as a marriage partner goes, and I mean, if it's conjunct the other person's sun, it would be more that person who they truly are inside the inner character. If it's conjunct the ascendant, it's what person's what their desire, what they really require or need in a marriage partner would really mesh with what that person is projecting, the characteristics that person is really strongly projecting, the outer demeanor, which is the ascendant. And of course, you could have that strong emotional connection with as far as if it's Juno conjunct the other person's moon. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the Aries soulmate, and stay tuned next time where I'll be talking about the Taurus soulmate. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.